The topic for today is from survival to safety. But before we begin, I want to be clear about who I am and who I'm not. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not here to diagnose you or provide medical advice. I'm a trauma-informed practitioner, an educator who works with the nervous system. My role is to help you understand why your body responds the way it does and how trauma, stress, and early experiences shaped your patterns and the program you're running behind the scenes. This content is educational, supportive, and not a replacement for medical or mental health care. If at any point you feel you need additional support, I encourage you to seek it. And take what feels regulated and helpful and leave what doesn't. Nothing here is about fixing you. It's all about education. Your nervous system learned how to survive. The Relive framework is what I've created to help you understand all of this and so much more. For a long time in my own life, I didn't understand why I felt the way I did, particularly through my teens to adulthood, while I struggled with self-doubt, not feeling good enough, and I felt like an imposter, trying to be someone I wasn't. Why I felt responsible for other people's emotions came from my childhood conditioning. Why I kept repeating the same emotional and relationship patterns, even though I was self-aware and motivated and doing all the right things, came from the program I had been running since childhood. On the outside, I was high functioning. On the inside, I was exhausted. And like many people, I assumed the problem was me. I tried mindset work. I tried pushing past fear. I tried being stronger, more disciplined, more positive, more educated. I even trained myself in so many modalities, but nothing truly shifted. Because what I didn't understand yet was this: these weren't character flaws, they weren't weaknesses, they weren't protective responses. That's all they were. They were patterns that I'd formed since childhood, shaped by my childhood wounding and trauma that came growing up in a very dysfunctional home with very dysfunctional people around me, and held not just in my mind, but in my body and my nervous system. Everything changed when I stopped asking, what's wrong with me? And I started asking the very important question, what's happened to me as a result of what I've been through? What did my system need to take on in order to survive? That question changed everything for me. And I began to understand, as doctors like Dr. Gabor Mate teach, that trauma isn't just what happened to us. It's about what happens inside of us when we are exposed, when we don't have enough safety or support or regulation to even understand it. And healing doesn't happen through force. Release happens when safety is present. Release requires trust. I didn't heal by becoming someone new. I healed by learning how to create safety in my body, in my emotions, and in my inner world. As safety increases, the patterns that once controlled my life began to soften. Not because I fought them, but because I no longer needed to protect myself. And over time, I realized this wasn't just my story. It was the same story I was hearing time and time again from my own clients, who I now help and assist with this exact issue and problem. That's how the Relive framework was born, not as a formula, not as a quick fix, but as a compassionate map, a way to understand where you are in your healing journey without the shame, the pressure, or the self-judgment. So having compassion for yourself and where you're at this point in your life. The Relive framework helps you to recognize that your nervous system has been doing its best to keep you safe, and that healing unfolds in stages, not all at once, and never through force. Relive begins with the R, which is Relive is the acronym, so recognition of the unconscious program that you've been running behind the scenes all these years. It's the patterns that began in childhood that shaped how you relate, cope, and survive. And that is running right now as an adult behind the scenes. Then comes the E, where you experience safety through education and learning to feel without being overwhelmed. The L is about listening to your body instead of overriding it and letting go. I is about integrating so you can then take on what you need to take on as you heal. The V is validating your system and what it's been through and vibrationally changing what you need to. E is embodying all of the changes that take place. So this framework exists to really help you to heal on all levels. It's about creating enough safety to be who you already are, not someone new. You don't need push, you don't need rush, and you don't need to relive the past trauma to heal it. You need understanding, you need compassion, and you need a map that honors where you're at currently and to work with your nervous system's pace. If this resonates with you, the Relive framework has been put together in a book which I designed to help you understand everything you need to know about where you're coming from and where you can potentially go. It begins with healing without overwhelm. You can find the link below if this is something that interests you. There's no pressure, just an invitation. So let this map support you in the best way possible. And remember, there is nothing wrong with you. You've just been through a lot and it's led you to here today. So congratulations. Your system learned to survive and you're here. And healing is possible when safety leads the way. Thank you so much for watching. And if this video really resonates with you, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so you can receive further notices when I post new videos. Relive has been designed to really help people that are stuck in survival mode to gently come back to safety and themselves, to realign with who you really are, who you came here to be. So go gently today with yourself and love your way. Find some joy and happiness where you can and be in gratitude for everything that you've been through to this day. Bye for now.